Hello everyone, my name is Shadow, and I'll be your entertainer this evening. I'm going to be playing some more of Strange Antiquities, in which last time we had some familiar symptoms in a guy that fell into a coma, except last time these symptoms were on a dead person. We're probably not dealing with the same situation, but let's hop in and see if it's, Oh, this is interesting. Just continue. Apparently we can continue from individual days. Yes, it is probably not the same thing, but we'll see. It's buried behind lock and key. After a disagreement between two houses, I was buried behind lock and key. See if any of these names say anything like that. Could be something to do with the jail. Lockhouse, that's a thing. 7. It says behind. Hi Turner Kid, thanks for the follow. Hope you enjoy the stream. Let's see. Okay, then 13 is Keystone Manor, so behind, we're looking here maybe? Yeah, it worked. Hey Turner, how's it going? Let's see. Large flat slab of granite marks the otherwise empty field. There is an inscription on this spot. In the year 1813, Arthur Key did shoot and kill the beloved horse of Wellington Lock. Oh dear. Buried at the foot of the slab, I find an unlocked chest containing a handful of legal documents, as well as a pistol and another item that catches my attention. Spooky. Let's go on over here. Very nice. Gonna be streaming anything interesting? Any cool games or anything? Hey, Eli? Yes, the shop is still standing, so I'm gonna burn it down. Say what you will about Undermere, this town is never quiet for long. I leave for a few days and suddenly everyone's talking about ravens and curses. Gonna need to find some Verona to get up to speed. Well, last I heard she's out of town. Just some Minecraft with my IRL friend. Well, that's fun. Minecraft's always fun. Always rely on quiet Susan to unearth an interesting trinket or two. Ah, new items. Cool. Where do you go? Goodness. You can go over here. That is a lot of achievements, my dude. Good luck. Let's see, who's next? Francesca Robinson. That's a nasty scratch. The evocant didn't snap Mr. Hungerford out of it, unfortunately. It's strange. At times he appears almost awake, but he's deep in some kind of trance. Concerning. Seems to be searching for something. Beginning to suspect this is beyond my skill set, but I'm not so willing to give up easily. I know it's a bad idea, but I'm gonna need a sleep vessel. Sleep vessel, okay. Let's see. 6 points to a sleep vessel are said to represent the 6 thaumic disciplines: Selenic, Draidic, Noctic, Diurnic, Weixic, and Mentic. They help people to stay awake beyond any natural limits by storing their fatigue. Over time and repeated use, they become more and more difficult to handle, as though the undreamed nightmares within are beginning to seep out. 6 points. Okay. So we need something pointy. Okay, have fun lurking. And thanks for stopping in. I think I figured out what this is, but I don't remember what it was. Don't think that's quite 6 anyway. Definitely not distinct enough. And this could almost be 6 points. There's a darkness to it, as if it holds untold fears inside. That could be some nightmares. Sense of cackling energy flickers in the depths of my mind. This one has a lot of the protection sigils. That's interesting. I think it's one of those two. Does the book say anything else? I don't think the cackling energy is quite correct. Where's my other book? One with the symbology stuff. There it is. Insanity. Yeah, I don't think that one's correct, so let's try this one for the sleep vessel. Closer inspection reveals the darkness inside. Perfect. Probably not a good idea to use it if it's already got darkness inside, but hey, if you need it. Sorry, Jupiter. Many years ago, I owned a silent breath, but it was already old when I inherited it, and its power died soon after. It's about time I replaced it. Silent breath. Wasn't that what Eli brought back? Where is he? No, it's not. He was talking about something else. Okay. Silent breath. There are those that consider the white heart a prize to be claimed, but there's no glory to be had from killing such a noble guardian of the forest. The silent breath contains a small token taken from a living white stag. While the stag lives, the item will retain its power, allowing the bearer to sense danger before it arrives. So something from a white stag, and I'm probably going to sense some danger. So something made of horn. I don't have a lot of items along those lines. Or even made of bone would probably be good enough. White feather. I don't think you'd get a feather from a stag. I mean, it's a deer. And that's all bronze. This was metal and a gemstone. Maybe this one? It's clay. Definitely no impending sense of danger. Now the blood could be. Has an energy about it. That's not helpful, but that's at least something. Streaked with red, it doesn't call out that it's blood this time. Pretty sure this is wood. Yep. Fossilized creature, so probably not. Slight out-of-body feeling like my hands belong to someone else. That is interesting and very specific. Clay painted to look like bone. Definitely not that one. Small token taken from a living white stag. You would think that would be either like a hoof or an antler, but I'm not finding anything like that. At best, maybe the blood. It's the only thing I've got left that seems to have come from a living being. Well, the feathers, but you don't get feathers off a deer. That's space for some dread if I'm wrong. And I was. Interesting. Something that could have come from a white stag, yes. White hair. Oh. Is that hair? That is hair. Huh. Well, that is... I would not have gotten that one. That is quite interesting. wait, and she actually took that one. Oh wait, no, I'm holding it, never mind. That was just... I forgot it comes off the shelf when you're holding it. Hello, Rufus. I've always wanted to try a Daedalus sling. I have a personal interest in the celestial branch, so I'm not completely new to such things, nor am I ignorant of the risks. And now I have a good reason for it. Oh yeah? Need to take care of some roof repairs, and this would seem the safest way to approach it. I don't know, dude. Ever heard the story of Icarus? A Daedalus link is a powerful object capable of producing a levitation field. The field is extremely fragile, however, so it would be prudent to not take risks. These items are surprisingly light in weight. The designs vary, but they might point to some facet of flight. A feather or the wings of a bird or insect, for example. Got a few things with feathers around. These are more like leaves, though. And they're made of gold, so they're not actual feathers. I think this is probably gonna be the pot. Talks about it being light, though, so... And that pot's most definitely not light. Definitely not. More leaf than feather. Oh, there's this thing. Doesn't really have anything about feathers to it, though. Vibrates with energy. This does have a bit of the bird motif, even though it doesn't have an actual feather or anything. It doesn't say it needs to have an actual feather, just that the design usually... That one's pretty heavy, so probably not that one. I think this one might be correct. So it is pretty light. It does have the bird motif. Yep. Daedalus link. do air for this one. Air is one of these two. The other one's earth. Pretty sure that one's fire, that one's water. I always get confused between air and earth. I think this one's air. Yellow's good. Okay. Hello, Mr. Bishop. Ravens are back, I see. Looks like it's going to be worse this time. What do you mean worse? After speaking to Verona, I've come to extend an open invitation to visit Gleaston Castle. My family has lived there for generations, and I know there are artifacts that would be of use to you, gathering dust in hidden corners. Huh. All I ask is that you stay out of the south tower and the master bedroom. And run anything you find by me first, of course. Okay, then. We have another map. Here's something to get you started. Walk past the main staircase and turn left. Follow that corridor down to the end and go through the door to the left. There's a small plinth in the corner of that room with an item on it that you are welcome to. Never did like it anyway. Time to explore. Use the buttons on the left to change... Oh! Well, that's kind of cool. We only had one map last time. Okay. So, walk past the main staircase and turn left. Follow that corridor down to the end and go through the door on the left. Small plinth in the corner of that room with an item. Should not have come here. But I had an invitation. Was that not where I was supposed to go? Also, that's an interesting note. It could mean go all the way down this corridor. So to this room, maybe? There it is. The plinth is not hard to spot in the corner of the room next to a small writing desk. A glass jar houses the object mentioned in Edmund's note. As I gathered the item and turned to leave, my eye is drawn to a green book on the desk. The author's name is of particular interest. I pick it up and find Edmund on the way out, who encourages me to take it with me. I try to insist on paying for it at least, but he won't entertain the idea. Ooh, gemstones. By Eli. Ah. He would. That's not what bloodstone looks like. Bloodstone's green. It does have red specks, but it's green. Malachite's pretty good. Admittedly, it is much more dramatic when you use black for bloodstone. Most brimstone I've seen is more like, I mean, early opalescent is correct, but usually more bluish. I think I have seen some pink, though. Vivianite. Grows on iron coffins and waterlogged corpses. I wonder if they made that one up. Nope, that one is a real one as well. Hydrated iron phosphate mineral. One of the immediate questions suggested is, does Vivianite grow on corpses? They're often found inside fossil shells and can appear on iron coffins or on the corpses of humans as a result of chemical reaction of the decomposing body. So yeah, that is apparently very accurate. That is interesting. Imagine just finding, like, going into a graveyard or something, and you just see crystals growing on all of the graves or something. It's definitely interesting. At the end of a long passageway, after days spent clearing away dangerous rockfalls, the duo came upon a chamber. In it, they found a small stone tomb, too small to contain human remains. Whew. Oh, there's a hole in this one. Oh, that's fun, but that's also going to be a very difficult one. Also, we have 2 maps. That's going to make it harder. Oh dear. There we go. That wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. To be fair, though, it made sense that it would apply to the new map. A portrait of some dead lord eyes me suspiciously as I enter the room and start absent-mindedly opening drawers. The room is cold and austere, and I am about to leave when I spot a crate under the chest of drawers. This could be something. It is definitely something. Do some quick reorganizing as we can. Because it is important to keep track of the things that we have identified and the things that we have not. Good enough. Good morning, Mr. Schaefer. Not sure about this fog today. It's an eerie atmosphere out there, especially with those darned ravens back again. It's usually fierce black dogs I've got to worry about, not big black birds. Better off inside, I reckon. Yeah, inside I have a cat to pet. A very good cat. Anyway, see what's in the mail. The triangle has intrigued me ever since I first heard about it as a young boy. What causes the pine trees to grow like that? Did someone plant them? I know you'll at least have heard of it, but did you know this? I calculated the exact center point, and there's a small clearing there. It can't be a coincidence. What's more, there's a certain energy about it. Not entirely welcoming either. I wonder if you might take a look yourself. Thomas, Pope, and Hamish. May as well. What triangle are we speaking of? Most likely in town. There. Monday, Heathwood. Sure enough, as I approach the center of the curious triangle copse at the heart of Heathwood, I come across a clearing. A tree that has been split in two stands at the center. Sunlight breaks through, and I take a deep breath of cleansing pine and earth. Almost immediately, I am struck by a sense of ominous power, and my intuition tells me that there is something unusual here at the heart of the wood. I examine the broken tree and notice some strange markings carved into the trunk. Heart beating faster, I spot something else embedded in the wood. 3 pendants arranged in a triangle shape. Fancy. I now have more things I need to arrange. They're pendants, so over here would be better. That fits. Sorry, Jupiter. It's been many years since I've performed the rite of the red knives. Still remember every step. I'd do it one more time before I die. If only I could get my hands on an Orford spire. I tried that place in Arnside and they sent me here. Okay. Let's see what we can do for you. An Orford spire. During the rite of red knives, an During the rite of the red knives, an Orford spire is fully submerged in the goat's blood for 9 days and 9 nights. When performed correctly, the rite is said to impart vitality and clarity of thought, although perhaps not for the goat. Interesting. Excellent sense of energy. And this one has insanity and protection markings. Do you think it's an actual spire? So that's most of what we're getting here is feeling. So that's most of what we have to go on. Vitality and clarity of thought. It is supposed to have been in blood, though, and this has an energy about it and has definitely been in blood. Do we have that symbol anywhere? I don't think so. Could be a combination of foresight and something else. It's either that or this thing. I'd be more willing to bet on this one since it's got the blood on it. Hopefully they're using the rest of the goat for, like, meat or something. Be an awful waste otherwise. Hello again, Eli. Need to go away for a few days again. The Order of the Black Veil will have the information I'm looking for. They seek to understand the world beyond death, drinking an elixir that sinks them deep into a trance. If I'm right, they may be able to shed some light on these events. The only problem is I burned that bridge a long time ago. That's unfortunate. Could you hand me that Guise of Lillian? It won't be the first time I've used one to get around their hatred of me. I mean, sounds like you really need to rebuild the bridge if you've needed to do that more than once. Just saying. Guise of Lillian. These items can allow the bearer to pass unrecognized. If used for any length of time, the wielder can begin to lose their sense of self. Concerning? The remains of bygone creatures have been used in thaumaturgy for centuries, from petrified teeth and bones to trilobites, ammonites, and devil's toenails. Guise of Lillian is one such item that makes use of this ancient power source. Well, we know what that is. Alright, Turner, have fun with your stream. Good luck with your achievements. There it is. Fossilized creature of some sort. Go ahead and leave that one without a symbol, I think. Back, store that away. Whoops. I currently left that in place. Just gonna put it away. Alright, who's next? Rebecca Rose. She was an actual person. Hello. Yes, that is a cat. That's stupider. My eyes may have completely gone now, but it's good to know I still have my cat senses. Always good to have cat senses. I do hope I'm in the right place. My daughter told me about a shop that specializes in unusual items. My life's joy has always been painting. Without that in my life, I'm afraid I'm at a bit of a loss. I know that I will never see again, but is there anything in your collection that might help me paint again? I feel a little foolish for asking. It seems such a small thing, but to me it means everything. No, that's fair. What the heck? Oh, I wonder if this is gonna identify something. What the heck? I think I just heard something move. Oh no, oh no, I broke it. I broke it. Ah. I'm just gonna go ahead and hide that. Okay, so what are... Aries Remnant. These objects induce a form of synesthesia, where colors and tones, light and shadow, can be felt through touch. They're also sometimes used by those who work in low light conditions, such as miners. The gemstones in an Aries Remnant are arranged in the shape of a constellation that shares its name. So that should be pretty easy to identify. And the other option is the Spirit Eye. There are some who stay away from spirit eyes, believing them to be a window into a world that should not be seen, and others who deride their fears as nothing more than superstition. It is not clear exactly what they do show, another layer beneath the visible world, perhaps. A layer that requires something more than the traditional sense to experience. They draw their power from the opposing symbols inscribed upon them. So this one could drive her mad, is the problem I'm thinking of. That and it sounds harder to identify. This one, I think, is probably the safer option. Trying to find those gemstones. I'm guessing this is probably the other one. The one that would drive her mad. Or this could be the Spirit Eye. That is a lot of different symbols. I'd much rather try to find the Aries one, though. Here we go. Nothing to remark. That is interesting. That is the... Yeah, that's the constellation. Aries remnant. I'm pretty sure that's correct. She's a nice old lady. I wasn't gonna drive her insane. Not intentionally, at least. There is actually one of these that belongs to Aries, so I'm gonna see if I can find it. Mars. Mars is often associated with Aries. And that's just the masculine symbol. That is a different Aries. That was my brain being weird. Could find a symbol for that though. Or we can just leave it. That's fine. Those ravens have done for 3 more poor buggers. 2 of them up at Calgary, and another fella a fisherman. People are getting a bit panicky around here. Nothing natural about folk turning up with eyes all black like that. And now this fog, too. With the nights drawing in and me working late, I refuse to walk around Holbrook Road without so much as a lantern. I had something nice and bright in mind. Sunbond. And there it is. A sunbond is small and lightweight, designed to be carried discreetly, and made of a non-precious metal of some kind, housing a gemstone of light. Carry the warmth and light of the sun, a brightness that can pierce the darkest gloom. Non-precious metal, the gemstone of sun. Orange gemstone. Bronze isn't particularly precious. That could be. It's not exactly glowing or anything. I don't think I can turn out the lights, though. Unless I can just, like, drag all of the candles over here and suddenly it's dark over here or something. The moon is pink. It is interesting to see that that is... It is warm, though. Interesting. It doesn't seem to give off light, is the thing. I do like how the candles actually seem to affect stuff, though. I can give him a candle. What if I just gave him a candle and said, here you go. Here, this'll help you. I'm not gonna do that. Actually, I don't have any dread. You know what? Take a candle. That one has the metal, but I don't think it's quite correct. Let's go put this away as well. Alright, you. It's an amber gemstone, a stone of light made of bronze and non-precious metal, and strangely warm. It doesn't glow. I mean, maybe that would have been too obvious or something, but... Another person. Bend your ear to the trees, hold your palm to the wind, the ravens can feel it. Can you? Something is stirring. I will need a Holgen Grim in the coming days. Another person with a profile. The priest. Interesting. The warrior god Holger. Interesting. Holgen Grim. You got it. These eerie creations are worn by priests of Holger in various rituals relating to death and the afterlife. The sacrament to ask for his protection, Wolfsong's truth to seek his judgment, path of the warrior to help the dead find their way. What? Okay, hold on. Where's the... And Path of the Warrior. I'm just looking for clues at the moment. Those are all just part of Holgen Grim. Okay. It might be the mask? Which would be this. Fills me with a sense of foreboding. I don't think these symbols are going to help, though. That's definitely the, Vgen, was it? The gem for dead people. The gem that grows on dead people, that is. This one. does talk about the dead in here. I think it's going to be this one. Mask is an eerie item that can be worn. Sketch shows a priest wearing a mask. Using the index, we can find a sketch of Holgar, to whom the mask bears a striking resemblance. Huh. Okay, let me name this real quick. It's just gonna be that. What do you mean we can find sketch of Holgar, it said. It's under Holgan Grim or the Heart Chamber. Oh yeah, it does. Huh. Building his twin axes, Wolf Song and Fearbringer. Huh. Oh, that is cool. So I was on the right path for using the index, I just wasn't doing it right. Inside was the reason they had toiled so hard, a small black casket. A very valuable small black casket. They knew enough not to open it, but perhaps too little to fully understand the danger it posed. Stairs? Up the stairs left, then left again. Second on the right is where I spend each night. So that's definitely going to be in the castle. So up the stairs. Left. Does that mean follow this? Then left again. Goes downstairs. Second on the right is where I spend each night. But that's stairs again, so that's not it. Up the stairs, left, then left again. There's no second on the right from there. Which stairs? Could be these stairs, because that has left and left again. Second on the right would be here. And that one. That's assuming that's the correct stairs, though. It was. The bedroom looks like it hasn't been used for some time. A thin layer of dust coats the furnishings and cobwebs decorate every corner. Pulling back the thin curtains lets some light in, but more importantly, they reveal a macabre item that's been hiding on the windowsill all this time. A couple of fingers. Gee, I wonder if this item is cursed, and it's a couple of fingers from a dead person. Sorry, Jupiter. Didn't mean to spook you. Never get any peace at my house. When am I going to find time to do my writing? Tried beeswax, but that makes my ears sore, and besides, I can still hear the shouting and the banging at all hours. Oof. I heard you might be able to help me. St. John's Anvil. Wasn't trying to click on the bell, but at least not the first time. But yeah, no, next customer. You just have to deal with it. These items have much in common with the St. John's poppy of the same name, a fact that is reflected in their designs. They have quite different uses, however. Whereas the plant helps to overcome deafness, an anvil will dampen sound. They can even be tuned to filter out certain noises, but allow others to be heard still. Okay, so I'm looking for something with a flower design. Not exactly flowers. There's this, but that's more leaf than flower. Much in common with the St. John's poppy plant. Reflected in their design. Oh! The St. John's poppy leaves. So that could bring us down to either this one or this one. Yeah, nothing else has either a flower design or those leaves. Nothing to remark as far as sound there. Sounds are muffled in its presence. There we go. St. John's Anvil. And we'll leave that one. Another one. Mr. Potter. He must be the thaumaturge's apprentice. I am. Bet he's a hard man to work under. He's helped me out more than once in the past, though. And speaking of the past, my eye's been aching again lately. It's unfortunate. That can't be a good sign. Be willing to make a fair trade for an Elva stone if you have one. We just might. An Elva stone. Elva stones can be used to relieve discomfort caused by otherwise incurable ailments such as praxis or burning blood. The planetary metal used in these items is associated with the Selenic discipline, a connection that is also reflected in their design. It's probably silver. Yep. And he did indeed trade to us. How nice of him. There's not really space up top to put that one. I guess it can stay there for now. This can go right there. Hello again, Miss Verona Green. Been doing some reading. See what you make of this. Okay. Sounds cursed. That fisherman they found yesterday had been up at Wyeth Beck, so I'm going to see what I can find. Going to see if I can find anything out there. Here I go again, sticking my nose into trouble because I don't seem to be able to listen to the part of me that says, go put the kettle on and let someone else deal with it for a change. That is a very smart part of you. You should listen to it. It's bloody-minded arrogance to follow that thought up with, but there isn't anyone else. But here we are, and here I am. They'd do it all wrong anyway. They probably would. That's not your problem. Until it is. Until they do it all wrong, and then you're the next one with black eyes stuck in a coma. So, you know, getting yourself stuck in all of this is just self-preservation. Hello, Miss Mason. How can I help you? Been wearing a pendant that I found in the library, and it does something to me. Oh, really? It gives me an appetite for reading that I cannot control. I was lost in the library for 3 days without eating or sleeping before I managed to take off the pendant and escape. It is rather pretty, though. Someone told me I need a Cussack purifier, and that this is the place to get one. Well, let's see. Small topaz gemstone known as the Eye is placed in a strong-smelling liquid. Ugh. Usually some potent barley spirit or vinegar. Ugh. Small tokens such as rings or amulets, perhaps, submerged in the liquid and left for a full cycle of the moon, are cleansed of simple imbued hexes or curses. Of course, there is a limit to the effectiveness of this process. Yep. Has a strong odor and rattles. Probably this one. That's the only thing I have that really has a liquid in it. I guess I could have looked at what the symbol was. Probably should have. We're just gonna leave it like that. Nothing else has the default label anyway. Nothing else yet, at least. I suppose I could put the stone down here. That way we still have the whole thing with those two shelves being just for unlabeled items. Simone Green. Hello. I'm working on something you might find interesting. Oh, really? Did you know that nobody knows who built Strange Antiquities? It's very old, perhaps the oldest building in Undermere according to some accounts. Even Eli doesn't know all of its secrets. Been decoding a journal that he found. It's slow work, but I've made a bit of a breakthrough recently. Have you discovered the plinths below the counter? I have. I've learned that they can be used to access the shop's hidden depths. And this journal holds some of the keys. Here's something I discovered late last night. See what you make of it. Okay. Give. Alcove key, a horn shackle, an evocant, and then a moon something. Writing is so dense and spidery, it's not easy to decipher. Okay, the evocant is... Thought I put it over here. Well, at least I have the horn shackle. Here's the evocant. No, sit. Sit. And then a moon something. I don't know if I've got anything that's straight up moon something. Moonstone Guardian. For the banishment of Obsphere and Noctic Night. These tend to take the form of a comforting guardian. Did it work? Okay, but it does have moonstone, so like... Yep. Is it because it's in the wrong order? It could also not be the Moonstone Guardian. That is always a possibility. That's just the only moon something that I have. Moon Heart. Which I have Selenic Totem already. it? There it is. Oh. Oh, hello. That's another one of those. Keep those all together. Cups. Cups are interesting. Both with gold paint. This one just says wood. This one's also wood with amethyst. Pretty sure that's a constellation, but I don't know it off the top of my head. It's so close to being one of the dippers, but it's not quite. Here's the question, do I have to put them all back if I want to get back in there? If so, I might need to, just not go back in there. Hold on to the cups somewhere else, maybe. Okay. Or maybe we put them in here. Or I can just hide them away. The cups are no longer my problem. Also, these are my candles now. Just extra candles. And then it becomes glitchy time. Interesting. Okay, anyway, who's the next person? Jim Wolf. How's it going, Mr. Jim Wolf? After years of working in a thundering mill, I'm afraid I'm quite deaf now. Tried St. John's Poppy, but I'm looking for a more permanent solution. I'd love to be able to hear my niece's laughter. Looking for a hearing charm. A simple trinket that amplifies sounds. While generally used by the hard of hearing, they're curiosity that can be enjoyed by young and old alike. And of course, they have more devious applications too, making it possible to eavesdrop on private conversations. Take the form of animals known for their hearing. Take the form of animals, huh? A bat, I'm guessing, then. It's the only one particularly available. Didn't even do the closer inspection, but I'm sure it would have. Let's do this one. I don't think I've put that on any of them yet. And we don't have any notes for exploration at the moment, so... It's 4 empty slots. We have 3 of these so far. May as well just end the day. At camp that night, one of the pair had awoken with pain in his left eye. He was alerted to the threat at once, recognizing 2 things at the same time. 1, a part of his mind was not his own, and 2, the casket wanted to be opened. Oh, that was a difficult corner to get around. This is a difficult shape. It's a person. The maiden in the tower points the way. I am buried among the trees. I'm not even sure which map that's on. I mean, that's gotta be the castle, right? A tower? But then it says buried among the trees. You can't get to the trees from here. Or there is a courtyard, though. Maiden in the tower. Is there... what sort of a tower do we have here? There's definitely a lot more tree options. "22 is Galfrey's tower. Where's 22? Here. Not really any trees nearby. Unless we're talking about this, maybe? Could be. That's the nearest trees. It's worth a shot. It's a new day, so we don't have any... Must have taken a wrong turn. This isn't where I wanted to come. Definitely not that. Are there any other towers? Hey, Strange Horticulture. I should go give them a visit. That's number 2? Right here. Not right now, though. Maiden in the tower. Not seeing any... sort of pointing, though. There's also trees this direction-ish. I don't think that's correct. It's down here, there's some trees. Oh, if you turn her backwards, she almost looks like the outline of the island. If this is her finger pointing, kind of looks like she could be pointing here. Nope, it wasn't that. I wonder if I can get a hint for that one. At least the rising dread for that isn't too high. Could be just across the way they're talking. This was a mistake. Okay, let's try the other map then. A lot of these have been in this map. Not really a lot of places for trees in here, though. Pretty much just the courtyard. There is a tower that sort of points towards. Neat hedgerows and worn pillars frame the space. Gravel crunches underfoot. The only sound in the otherwise quiet courtyard. There's no reason to linger. It still wasn't it, though. Doesn't seem to have any hints for this. I know from the previous game, if I don't figure this out, I might not be able to solve a future situation. The only reason why I'm so concerned by it. So I checked this one, I checked this one, I checked here. Is there anything else that's like a maiden? No, not really. Now down here could be. There's trees there. Lady Rosalind built the folly in memory of her husband, lost to the lake, or so the story goes. Now it stands, wind-worn and empty, overlooking the water. Check the turret just in case. Nothing but dust and old stones. Love doesn't leave much behind. It's these as well, perhaps. Good stuff in strange horticulture. It seems like we don't get dread from actual locations. This curious plant shop on the edge of town is a quiet haven away from the bustle of the center. Ordinarily, I'd be delighted to while away some time here, but I have important work to do. And yet, an hour later, I find myself leaving the shop with applauded dalliance and a weight off my shoulders. I've been chatting with the proprietor about the similarities and differences between our two disciplines, with the gently purring hellebore curled up in my lap. I got a flower. Oh. Okay. I got a flower. Hello, Jupiter. I'm just gonna call people until it becomes a problem. Hi, Verona. I walked up the beck a mile or so in the cold and wet yesterday and found a section with a handful of dead fish floating in it, belly up and blackened they were. That's concerning. Not good for the fishing population. Not sure what to make of it, but I don't like it. Yeah, I wouldn't either. On my way to Calgirth now. Spoke to Dr. Robinson earlier, and she said 2 women were found there are still in the same state as the others, in a trance and eyes all black. Before I go, Anna Bryant asked me to drop this off. Okay. Well, thank you. When we were kids, we used to explore an abandoned house on the lakefront. We'd take a boat out to the northern tip of Naylor Island and row across from there. You know the one I'm talking about, second from the left in the row of 4. I found myself outside the door 3 days ago. I went inside for old time's sake. I wish I hadn't. It always had an ominous feel to it. It's taken me the last 3 days to summon the courage to write you this letter, but I think you better see for yourself what's there. Yours in faith, Anna Bryant. Well, now we have a reason to go out and explore again. Said second from... what was it? Out to the northern tip of Naylor Island, row across from there, second from the left in the row of 4. It should be here. Don't know what I was expecting to find. Anna's letter was quite vague after all, but I certainly wasn't prepared for this. In an alcove of the house, peering out through loose mortar and crumbling brick, is a macabre shrine of sorts. The skull of a stag is mounted above the opening, its antlers smeared with a dark red substance, and large melted candles pool out onto the wooden floor on either side. In the center of the altar, there's a small iron chest, rusted and fused to the floor. It's clear that it's been here for a long time. I do not see any hinge or keyhole or any way of opening it at all. But after a while I notice an inscription that simply says, I open to the voice. The voice of the horned god? The chest opens to reveal a golden totem. I can't imagine who would have stashed it here or why. But it doesn't look like they're coming back for it anytime soon. Okay then. Hello, Mr. Crowley. I apologize if this inquisition is an imposition to your disposition. It is not my intention to bring your attention to the matter of contention. Oh, I like him. I have an inclination to perform an incantation of flirtation. For your part, a leaden heart of the thaumic art. A leaden heart, I see. I like him. I like how he talks. Okay. These items depict the god Cernunnos in his non-human form. They are heavier than they look due to a core of lead hidden by a more modest exterior. They're said to kindle romantic interest and are sometimes given as wedding gifts. Oops. Actually, that shape's good. He's labeled now, though, so he gets to go up here. Seriously, what tower would it be? Maybe from the church? But the church isn't particularly near any trees. Or that church, but I'm pretty sure I've already investigated that one. Could it still be over here? A maiden in a tower. Should I be trying to find a tower? Is it something to do with the symbols? I mean, there's the triple goddess, if that's on here. And that's the maiden mother and crone. There's this, but it's not really pointing at anything. This is kind of pointing somewhere, but there's not. Maiden in the tower points the way. I'm buried among the trees. It's gotta be an undermare. Maybe if I just go to the tower? I climb the narrow winding stair to the top of the tower and am rewarded with the view across Lake Undermere. I'm not alone in the tower. Standing in the center of the circular platform is the statue of a young woman, the maiden. Her outstretched arm points due east across the rooftops of Undermere and beyond. Due east. Is it trying to say here? Okay, that is a long ways across. I mean, I guess it's kind of clever to have to actually go to the tower first, but that is a long ways across the map. I find what I'm looking for in a small cavity carved into a sturdy oak tree. I look around, half expecting to see someone, but there's nobody there. I take my prize and leave, feeling my mood lifted by the smell of damp moss and the gentle rush of wind through the treetops. Interesting. At some point, I'm gonna get a clue that's just like, oh, it has 3 gemstones, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I've got about 1,000,000 of them that have 3 gemstones. Hello, Mr. Eaton, how's it going? No, I'm not, Eli. I'm returning an item he asked me to repair. How nice of you. The mechanism was mangled, but I've replaced all the springs and given it a good clean. Good as new. Okay. Interesting. Oh. Oh, interesting. And I am now playing with things that I should not be playing with. Interesting. That is going to get so lost. Hi, Eli. It wasn't my intention to leave you unattended for this long, but I'm afraid I'm gonna have to rely on you for a little longer. Okay. The Order of the Black Veil seemed more concerned by the ravens than the black-eyed state that Mr. Hungerford was found in. Yeah, sounds about right. They said it would take a very powerful force indeed to upset them like that. Unfortunately, they either weren't able or weren't willing to talk any further on the subject. I was hoping to avoid it, but I must go to Oxford in the Bodleian Library. I'll be gone for a few days at least, perhaps longer. But you seem to be handling yourself well here. Yes, I am. Glad you noticed. I do not see eye to eye with the head of collections at the Bodleian, but I do know that he takes an interest in horticulture. Oh, you're gonna take my plant away from me. Never mind. I'll take him a Scythian charm to soothe things over between us. Yeah, here I was worried that you were gonna take away my plant that I just got. I am very happy to have that plant. It's a very pleasant plant. I cannot weigh the plant for some reason. I don't know why I wanted to weigh the plant, but I did. Eh? Wait, what was I looking for again? I got distracted by the pages being weird. Scythian charm. Older Scythian charms are carved out of wood, but the more powerful designs make use of planetary metals. No two are identical. They are used by horticulturalists to encourage stubborn plants to survive. They change with the weather, usually quite cold, but warm and tingly to the touch while it's raining. So currently should be warm and tingly. And could be made of literally anything. Is there anything about, like... No two are identical. Yeah, no, I just get warm and tingly. And I'm also looking at just about any of the metals that it'll actually call out. Bronze was actually not one of them. This is warm, so it kind of falls in. Made of gold. That was one of the sun materials. Tin. That's one of them. Warm and vibrating with energy. That should be it, because this is silver and gold. That should be it. What was it? Scythian what? Scythian charm. Go with the darker green and gold and silver, so that's sun and moon. We'll leave it without, since it's got two symbols it could be. Hello, Miss Robertson. Nice to see you again. I'm at a loss with these patients. They aren't responding to anything I've tried so far, and I haven't been able to find anything in the literature that fits their symptoms. That is unfortunate. I'm finding that they become violent if they aren't restrained, and they're always trying to leave. If nothing else, strontium tea from a restful mether might get a moment of lucidity out of them. But if you've got any ideas, then I'm all ears. A restful mether or a witcher's finger? Well, what's a witch's finger? Start there, since that's easy. Said to be the severed digits of the Witch of Undermere. They're capable of inflicting intense pain. Ugh. The goal is supposedly purification of the body. A most unpleasant experience, but a last resort that has cured some and finished off others. Maybe not. The other ones said something like a Dranthium tea from a restful mether. There we go. A mether is a thaumaturge's link to the inner mind. A hot tea is made from the Dranthium plant is drunk from them, taking on different properties depending on the type of mether. This particular type can be used to enter a meditative state and bypass the rush and clutter of consciousness, promoting clarity of thought. So that's the cups that we found. And that's the only one that we seem to have so far. We found 3 of them. It's a sharp aroma. It's interesting. Strong odor, sharp, but not entirely unpleasant. Oops, that was the wrong button. It's gonna be one of these 2. The difference between them being one has a sharp odor and one says sharp, but not entirely unpleasant. I think it's going to be this one, since it doesn't say anything about gems. Nope. Okay, I probably could have looked at what the gems were. Oh, hello again, Miss Rose. Come to thank you for sharing the wonder of the area's remnant with me. Yeah, no problem. It's changed my life. Still getting to grips with it, but I'm already feeling my way back to painting again. That's good. Thank you. No problem. I'm glad I did not drive you to insanity. Just as a general rule, it is usually a good thing to not drive people to insanity without needing to. He knew what to do. Without hesitating, he took hold of his diverging cloak and used it to cut away the infected part of his mind before it could spread and consume him entirely. Oh boy, it's another tower. I am the closest to the sunset, but furthest from the sunrise. So, west? Let's take a look at that. Probably in this one? The westmost tower? North is facing this way, though. Oh, that is tricky. So, if north is this way, west is this way, we need the tower on this corner. Try this. Got it. That was so much easier than yesterday. The view from the tower is quite beautiful, but it's what I find inside that catches my attention. In the middle of the room is an unlocked wooden chest, and within that, not one but 2 smaller wooden chests, along with the cryptic scrap of paper. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Just gonna leave that there. Hello again, Miss Robertson. As if I didn't have enough on my plate right now, my sister Bonnie has been acting strange lately. She never got over the death of our father. She's always blamed Mr. Potter for his role in it, and now with all this happening, she's got it in her head that he's behind it somehow. I'm worried she's going to do something stupid. Probably. If she comes in here, whatever you do, do not give her anything dangerous. I want to give her a keepsake to let her know she's still loved. I've seen people gifting one another wooden totems, but I don't know what they're called. Wooden totems. Oh, this one's going to be a test, I think. Definitely not the Zaya. Oh, I remember that one. Scythian Charm, maybe? Definitely not. Instills a sense of fear. Yeah, no. Splenic totem, maybe? Splenic totems. These carved totems, more commonly known as moon hearts, can be imbued with sentiment or feeling. That could be it. That's this guy, right? Thank you. Unfortunately, I have some bad news to share. Jack Hungerford has not responded well to the Dranthium tea. If anything, he appears to have sunk deeper into the trance. I daren't try anything else in case I make things worse. That is unfortunate. But I don't think the witch's fingers were going to be a good idea either, to be honest with you. Hello, Miss Verona. Those silly sods at Calgert Hall wouldn't let me in to look around. Oh, really? Seems I've upset the little lord who lives there at some point in the past. Oh, really? Allegedly, I refused to perform an exorcism on his haunted house. He didn't like my suggestion that it might be the local kids playing pranks on him because he's a mean old git. Oh, hi, Mr. Rocks. Thanks for the raid. Welcome in. I hope your stream went well. We're doing Dead by Daylight, correct? Let's see. She wants a Tenebrine cloak. Very nice, very nice. Tenebrine. Tenebrine. Actually, that gives me a chance to test out. Doing very well, Mr. Rocks, and thank you for the raid. You gave me a first chance. I've actually had to test out those commands. Anyway, Anyways, welcome in, Raiders. Hope you all had a good time in Mr. Rock's streams, and I hope you enjoy my stream as well. If you do need to raid and dash, as always, please do so. Make sure you get yourself some water, some snacks and all. But I would be honored if you are willing to stay. We are playing Strange Antiquities at the moment, which is... we sell people cursed items. Yeah. This one drives people to insanity. It's pretty cool. But yeah. Welcome in. Glad to have you. Let's see, a Tenebrine Cloak. Upon activation, a Tenebrine Cloak can create a sphere of enshrouding darkness. Single stone set in bronze. Got quite a few of those. Most of our cursed items are some sort of stone set in bronze, unfortunately. In and out, gotta work on stuff. Yeah, procrastination is very difficult, but gotta do what you gotta do. Actually, I think we might be down to like 2 items that are a stone set in bronze. Come to think of it. Might just be these 2 now. Well, 3. And this one doesn't really seem to have anything weird about it. I don't think any of these have any supernatural stuff. Okay, let's try symbology. Most of those have some sort of symbols on them. Do this one. This one has a bunch of symbols. Verona, why did you have to do a Tenebrine Cloak? This one's gold, right? It is. So that one doesn't count. Deception, that might be a useful one. There is one that's just straight up darkness, if I can find that. There it is. If I can find that on one of them, that might be it. No such luck. We are pretty low on our dread, so let's just test one. Nope. What other notes do we have? A single stone set in bronze. To be fair, this one is set in the bronze. Check what those 2 symbols are. It's a lot easier than trying to find a ton of them. That one's phosphorus. That's not necessarily helpful. Or no, that was cold. The triangle was the wrong direction. Cold and heat. It's not helpful. So let's try this one next. That was also wrong. Not missing any items, am I? These are all labeled already. And that's gold. No, that's the last one it should be. But it was wrong. A deep fear is taking root. I must break its hold over me. Okay. Cat Jupiter. Aw, Jupiter coming to help. Pick a segment of the seal to— oh, I didn't read it. Click a die to lock or unlock it. Stars can be any matching symbol. Okay, so I just need another cat if I lock those. Or 2 moons. Sanity restored. Well, that's kind of fun. Just having a little dice game. Hello again, Miss Verona Green. So it wasn't any of those. There's not a stone in here. There's not. That's technically a stone set in bronze. That's gold, so it wouldn't be that one. Oh, wait a second. This is essentially just a big stone. It's iron, though it's not bronze. That's the wrong book. Protection and enveloping night, moonstone. So it might be this one? So that is a moonstone, I'm pretty sure. Huh. I always forget to check the stones. Alright, let's get that labeled. Hello again, Mr. Potter. Bumped into Eli at the station yesterday before he left for Oxford. His train was late, so we had a brief chat, and he suddenly remembered something he wanted to tell you. Did he now? Told him I'd pass on the message. Okay. In other news, got a little something for you if you're interested. It's gonna cost you, but it's worth it. A map of the catacombs. And what's it gonna cost me? It may be worth a lot, but what's it worth? A Valant. Okay, so what's a Valant? The holes in a Valant are roughly equal size and spacing. They're used to help adventurers find their way. A curious pulse can be felt where its power concentrates. Something with holes of equal size and pulses. Maybe this guy? Not exactly holes. Did it say anything about where it's pulsing? Curious pulse can be felt where its power concentrates. I don't think there's any holes in this one. Part feels lighter. Not really holes in this one. Feels warm, but not necessarily anything about a pulse. Maybe this one? I definitely need a hint for this one. Equally sized and spaced holes, I got that much. They're gonna feel a pulse at their tip. So something with a tip of some sort. I don't think this has holes, so probably not. It's definitely not that one. Is it this? There it is, pulsating power. So those are holes then. There we go. Got that guy finally labeled. After having him for basically the entire time we've been here. Let's see. Keep forgetting to mention it would be helpful for you to read Dr. Robinson's booklet on curses. You'll find it in the cupboard hidden in the counter. I have had so many cupboards hidden in the counters that I have unlocked. What the heck do you mean there's another one? Is it this one? Oh, the, not that. That's this guy. So it's left, down, and right. Got it. Found the booklet on curses. Probably put that away. I cannot get that back, apparently. Oh well. I guess that's just where I hide things now. On curses and their effects, a brief overview by Dr. F. Robertson. The Black Heart. The black heart of the sufferer. The heart of the sufferer feels constricted, as though it is clamped in a vice. The skin is pale and cold to the touch, and veins stand out darkly on the body. Eventually, death will occur. Praxis. Characterized by necrosis of the flesh, the afflicted will feel no pain, but the scarring has no cure. Ugh. Breath of Lyra. While those affected appear to be able to breathe normally, they feel as though they are choking. Burning blood. The subject has the sensation of burning from the inside out. It is rarely survived, and those that do never fully recover. Morgan's insanity, a poison of the mind. Very helpful. Noctic sight. Those who suffer from this curse speak of increasingly vivid nightmares. The sapphire curse, marked by a telltale blue tint to the eyes. Those under this curse are plagued by walking hallucinations. Ormond's paralysis affects the mouth and tongue so speech becomes impossible. Well, that sounds unpleasant. And there's that, which we don't have yet. Probably need a few more. Oh, hello, Miss Roberts. Son, I feel like I'm going crazy here. I know who's behind this madness. All these people with the pitch black eyes. Do you now? Nobody is listening to me. I've seen it happen before. 7 years ago, my father died the same way. Well, since nobody will listen, I'm going to take care of it myself. I feel like that's not a good idea. Corvins might please, and I'll be on my way. Or we can give you a Gray's Grace. I really want this to be sitting right next to the bell again. I don't like that it is not right next to the bell. Oh, now it wants to sort into the friggin'... Okay. Anyways. Corvin's Might, sometimes called an Eagle's Gift, is an assassin's tool which makes use of Wysick power. When the warrior queen Corvin was surrounded and close to defeat, a gift came to her from an unlikely source. With it, she turned the tide of battle, and legend of the Bloody Queen was born. These objects pay homage to the Bloody Queen's gift. Okay, I'm guessing that's probably the Bloodstone, since that seems to be in a claw. The other one is Gray's Grace. Worn as a pendant to dispel melancholy, they shared the design of a shadow catcher. So that's probably this guy. Finally get rid of this guy. Supposed to dispel melancholy. I don't think that's... I'm guessing that's the Corvin's Might. To be perfectly honest, I don't think it's necessarily a good idea to help her, because I'm pretty sure she's going to get herself hurt or hurt someone else. I don't think she's necessarily wrong, but I'm going to go with the Gray's Grace. Don't insult me, Thaumaturge. Oops, this is some depression that can be cured with your little trinkets. I will get a hold of a Corvin's Might. Ugh. Sorry, I was trying to help you not get yourself hurt. That is kind of interesting, though, that unlike in the last game where they would essentially just take whatever you gave them, she actually recognized that I wasn't giving her what she asked for. That is rather interesting. And I almost wonder if that's going to be the worst situation, since she's now going to be pretty dead set on getting that Corvin's Might. Oh. Hopefully they find some sort of good thing to go on. As his mind roiled in confusion, he watched through his remaining good eye as his partner lunged towards the satchel that contained the casket. To his horror, he saw that his partner's eyes were black. So I'm guessing that means that his partner was not so good at fighting off the part of his mind that was taken over by the casket. Oh yes, a very good clue, thank you. That'll be so useful when we get to it next time. But for now, that is where we are going to be leaving this. So, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you enjoyed, you can find all of my previous episodes uploaded on my YouTube channel at Roanoke VT. And if you'd like to catch this live in the future, it will be on twitch.tv/ShadowRoanokeVT. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.